You see them every single day, those little pop-up boxes asking for your consent. And what do? We click Allow All, and we just move on. But what are we really agreeing to? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that humble cookie banner and decode that digital fine print.
Come on, be honest. You see this box and your hand just automatically moves the cursor over to that big friendly Allow All button. You click it without a second thought, right? It's muscle memory at this point. But that single click, it actually sets a whole chain of events into motion.
So to figure this out, we're going to do something that feels a little radical. We're actually going to read one of these things. And the one we picked is pretty fascinating. It comes from the website of an AI strategist, someone who literally focuses on responsible implementation. So you got to wonder, what does a responsible cookie banner look like on the inside?
Okay, let's get into it. We're going to put this banner under the microscope, break it down piece by piece, and really understand its anatomy. But first things first, what even is a cookie?
Well, according to the banner itself, they're just small text files, and their job is to make a website work better for you. You know, they remember your settings so you don't have to log in over and over again. But hang on, that's just scratching the surface. As you're about to see, it gets a lot more complicated than that.
So most banners group these little text files into different categories, and this one lays them out really clearly. Let's call them the 4 flavors of cookies. We're going to break down those checkboxes that, let's face it, we usually just ignore.
All right, first step, the plain vanilla flavor. Necessary cookies. These are the absolute basics, the nuts and bolts. They do things like remember you're logged in, or ironically, keep track of your cookie consented self. And as the description says right here, the website literally can't function without them. That's why they're always on, and you can't turn them off.
Next up are preference cookies. Now, these are all about making your life easier. They remember things like your preferred language or what country you're in, so you don't have to keep setting it every time. What's interesting, though, is that this particular website we're looking at, it doesn't actually use any of them.
Okay, now things start to get interesting. Category 3, statistics cookies. So their job is to watch what you do on the site, what you click on, how long you stay on a page, and then phone that information back home to the website's owner. Now, it's supposed to be anonymous just to help them improve the site, but the real question is, who's actually collecting all this data? And this is where we see the real fine print. When you click Allow, you're greenlighting 2 cookies that come directly from Google. They don't just send data about this one visit. No, they track you across different devices and marketing channels. And here's the kicker. Look at that expiration date. They can stay on your browser for up to 2 years. All of a sudden, this isn't just a private conversation with one website, is it? And last but not least, we've got marketing cookies. Oh yeah, these are the famous ones, the ones that follow you around the internet, showing you ads for that pair of shoes you glanced at last week. Their entire job is to build a profile on you for advertising. And again, it's really telling that this specific responsible AI site has chosen not to use them.
So, we've defined the different types. But what really happens when you give your consent? Well, that single click connects you to a much, much wider digital trail than you probably think.
This line is pulled directly from the banner's first page. It says right there in black and white that your information, your digital footprints on this site might be shared with other companies. See, by clicking Allow All, you're not just having a one-on-one with a website, you're basically letting a bunch of other companies listen in.
So what does that listening in actually look like? Well, the simple things you do, visiting a page, scrolling down a bit, clicking a link, all of that gets translated into incredibly valuable data. Analytics partners can figure out your interests, your online behavior, even your general location. You think you're just reading a website, but you're actually telling it a story all about yourself.
So why do they even have to ask you in the first place? Well, because it's the law. Regulations basically state that for anything that isn't strictly necessary for the site to work, they need your explicit permission. That little box isn't a friendly suggestion. It's a legal checkpoint. And at that checkpoint, you are in control.
Which brings us to the most important part of all this. Now that we know what's actually inside the box, how do we use that knowledge? This is all about shifting from that habit of blind adoption to making a conscious, informed choice.
And what is just a perfect full circle moment, this is the mission statement from the site's owner himself. The goal isn't to make you afraid of the internet. It's to help you understand these tools so you can use them thoughtfully. It's all about being deliberate, not just reacting.
So what can you actually do? It's so simple. First, just pause for 1 second. Don't just auto-click Allow All.
Second, look for a button that says Customize or Details or Manage. And third, just uncheck the boxes for the stuff you don't want, like statistics or marketing. You can allow what's necessary and say no to the rest. The whole thing takes maybe 5 seconds, and it puts you right back in the driver's seat.
So the next time one of those cookie banners pops up, you'll know exactly what's going on. And it really all comes back to that classic nagging question of our digital age. If the service is free, is it because you and your data are the product being sold? Definitely something to think about.